Hey, welcome back, guys. I can't remember what episode are we up to. I think it's number 6. Look, I took a trip to the old Big Smoke yesterday and got all the gear to continue setting up the console. I haven't fixed the console into place. I might have to shift it 3 inches or 4 inches forwards or backwards, but that is about it. So look at the mess over there. Yeah, I'll have to disconnect all that because I think it'd be better to run the Teleflex steering cable and the throttle control gearbox control cable first, and then reinstall the wiring again. But we are making headway. Had a bit of an issue with getting a drag link. Incidentally, a original Yamaha drag link, this one right here, sells for between 220 and 249 bucks. That's not chicken feed. And you know what? That thing there, that's called a hook, right? That basically connects the drag link to the engine. You know what that's worth? Yep, take a guess. I managed to find one second hand. Yeah, this marine place in Townsville, they're absolutely awesome. And I don't mind giving them a plug. Rising Sun Marine, the Yamaha mob. Alright, get stuck into it, eh? Yeah. Well, as you can see, it's a bit of a nightmare, a big mess with wires everywhere, but I didn't manage to get the steering cable, the Teleflex cable, connected and run down the side. And with a little bit of luck, I should be able to connect that, have just the right amount of cable to connect that up into the bezel, the helm box. Look, I have installed quite a few cables in the past. And they're always a bit of a pain in the ass. They don't bend real easy. So you gotta sort of route them nicely, otherwise the steering's too tight. But yeah, we'll just progress, keep going as we are. So the one thing I have learnt is that when you start from scratch with installing your steering system, is that you're best off to I suppose start, well, in my case I started off the outboard and ran the Teleflex cable in, connected it to the drag link, right, like so, and I ran the cable around underneath to the side, and I opted to keep it low and then come back up again. So I've got to be drilling a new hole in there, and that's going to have to, then the cable has to come up that way, because you can't just you can't snip the cable off if it's too long. So I'm hoping that this is going to work out. Another note, I use a bit of this stuff, a bit of Type A Lanatec grease, just to put under here, where this goes over there, just because this is zinc, just to help protect it from corrosion. Probably help a little bit anyway. As you can see, I just daubed a bit of that stuff on there. I do believe it helps protect it from corrosion, and anything you can do to sort of protect from corrosion is a good thing, in my opinion anyway. Yeah, so now I'm going to have to take all of this apart because the actual cover doesn't cover that, because the metal bracket is just about 3 mil too big. Anyway, shit happens, eh? Be able to judge the length of the cable, because you know they're either 10 foot, 11 foot or 9 foot. They're not, you know, 10 and a half. So in this case I went for an 11 foot cable, because theoretically the distance was 10 foot and 6 inches, or 3150 millimeters. So I am glad in the end that I went for the 11 foot model, because 10 foot would have been too short. I would have had to move the console a lot further back, and that wouldn't have been any good. So just to show you, you know, that cable runs underneath this storage side pocket and then comes out in that corner over there before coming up and connecting with the engine. To say that I'm stoked is an understatement, because yeah, got the steering sorted and we're all connected. I have to admit, there was a period of about a week where I ummed and ahed about going for hydraulic steering, which is really overkill for a 40, okay, or to just, you know, go with cable steering. Look, the cable steering setup, the whole helm, bezel kit, blah blah blah, wheel, cable, probably cost me about 350, 380 bucks. That was all right. Now, I looked online and could have bought a, it's a Vivor brand, hydraulic steering kit for just under 500 bucks. Although, I don't think it came with hydraulic fluid. So you'd have to, you know, probably add another 60 or 70 bucks for hydraulic fluid. But after doing a bit of research online and talking to a few people, and of course talking to, you know, one of the boat dealerships, I said, ah, no mate, this is okay. We get plenty of them coming in over here to install all the cheap ones in, because they're half the price, and they're all going to be up for $2,000 to put hydraulic steering in. Okay, I think that the only criteria really at the end of the day that made me decide to just stick with cable steering. Cable steering is very reliable. There's no oil leaks, there's no seals that leak, apart from the fact also that, you know, cable steering is a lot cheaper. And if you're buying a quality hydraulic steering setup, apparently you're not going to get out of that for less than $2,000. Apparently there's a few, they reckon, decent ones available online for between, you know, for around 1,000 or 1,200 bucks. But at the end of the day, I decided to go for reliability. There's not a lot to go wrong with cable steering. Some of you might also ask, why such a high profile console? You know, a lot of the you know, the 4.2 boats, or even some of them are smaller, they have really low profile consoles, and I did look at them, but for me it is really important that I'm able to stand up and see what's actually out there. I want to be able to see when I'm coming out of Hinchbrook Channel. It can get pretty sloppy in there, you know, to go back into the boat ramp. And I just like to be able to see. Also, there's a lot of sandbars in some of the places that I fish. So when you're able to stand up securely and steer and navigate the boat, you'll be able to see a lot better than from sitting down as I was from a telesteer. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next go around. So it'll be the throttle gearbox cable and a couple of other finishing touches. And then we should be getting close to being able to go out fishing maybe towards the end of next week. Thanks guys, catch ya, bye.